This week, we are fixing the well. The pressure switch went out. We're going to take you down to feed the ladies and collect eggs. We are going to do some maintenance on the vacuum sealer. And I had to go down to Homer for work, and Brian came along for the ride. And so he's going to take you into Homer and do a little bit of video down there. Thanks for joining us.
Got a problem with our well. The pressure switch is wearing out. So it kicks on and shuts off. See that? It just kicking off, kicking on. Okay, so don't do this. If you don't know what you're doing, don't do this. I don't know what I'm doing, but I've done a lot of high voltage stuff. So it's 220 in here. You get in here and touch the wrong things, you could give yourself a good kick. So these wires here are what you don't want to touch because they're live right now. I think these springs wear out, or the latching mechanism wears out. Let me get the gauge. See there? So when the pressure gets low enough, it tells it to kick on, and it tries, but the switch is stuck in the shut off position. Contacts open and close. They're supposed to, but mine are not really opening. They're supposed to open like that, like open, open. And mine are just sort of being lazy about it. And then if you look down in there, those contacts, do you see where those brass points are making contact? Those will get dirty. You know, anytime you have voltage making contact or not contact, in that split little second between the two, you'll get an arc of current across, and that'll cause oxidization on your contacts, that corona as it zaps across. And over time, that corona and the oxidization will make those contacts not conduct current very well. So sometimes you can take a little piece of sandpaper and sand those off, but that's not my problem. My problem right now is the spring, and for some reason it's just not latching or unlatching. So I got to figure this out. Yeah, just not. I got to get something better than the spatula. Okay. So that big black thing right there is the capacitor. Do not touch that. And you see those connections right there, those brass tongues sticking out? Those plug right into those when you close the lid. See that? Well, there are several pivoting mechanisms in there. This little arm here needs to go down, and that forces those contacts to open up. And that thing was like stuck. It got hung up on something. So I think those pivoting points just wear out over time. But now that I've unstuck that, this seems to want to go up and down again. So let's plug it in and see if it turns on. That pressure is way too low. Hear that turned on right away. As soon as I plugged it in, it turned on. These contacts close. That's going to pump until it gets up to, I don't know, like 58 pounds or something. And then these contacts we should see pop open. These are inexpensive. They're easy to replace. I just don't have one. So I need to get down to the hardware and buy two. There was definitely a spark when that happened. Now you see how far apart they are now, where before they were kind of stuck close together. And we're up to 60 pounds. So I got a problem with the switch. Put that back on there. That is temporarily band-aided. What do they call? They say jury-rigged, right? We had ravens find our trash can and our Thanksgiving leftovers. You guys ever have ravens tear up your garbage can? We didn't put our can out last week because there wasn't very much in it. But evidently the ravens appreciated that. So if you don't have a voltage meter, you can use one of these little things here. It just picks up voltage. You turn it on, green light, turn it off. So when the green light's on, you run it down here. Look at that. See, there's live voltage. So let's find the breaker, turn the breaker off to this guy, and switch it out. Not picking up anything now. So meter's a better deal, but I'm not sure where my meter's at right now. I really need to turn the water off because I got all this water in this tank, and when I disconnect that pressure switch, all the water is going to come up out of here. So you always want to use one hand. Working on voltage, high voltage, use one hand. That way, if you do get shocked, it goes through your arm and down through your body to ground. If you're using two hands and you get shocked, it goes through your arm, across your chest, and back out your other arm. And that takes the current right across your heart. So you always want to use one hand when you're doing voltage. Even though I check this and it's off, and I trip the breaker and it's off, it doesn't hurt to use one hand. So we're trying to run this gauge down to 0 so that I can take this pressure switch off. Otherwise I would have 40 pounds of water pressure squirting out the top there. Well, at the end of our stream of water, we got this lovely amount of mud coming out. Look at that water coming out of there. So probably a good thing to clear that out every once in a while anyways. Well, not too bad. It's kind of an aboriginal numbering system. So you can see these are already preset at the pressures that you want. This is a 40 to 60. That's what I had in there. That's what I'm replacing it with. All right, we'll flip the breaker on. See what happens. That should run for a while because it's got to fill these tanks up. The iron that's out of the bottom of the well is what that is. Well, that is changing the pressure switch. Let's go see what Rebecca's up to.
Give the girls some mealworms. Hello, ladies. Hello, girls. Hi, how we doing? Hey, girls. Hello, girls. Hi, ladies. Hello. How we doing? How we doing? You guys gotta lay on the bottom, don't you? You gotta lay on the bottom. Oh, that hurts. My knee. Ow. Oh. Look, I brought you a present. I did. I brought you a present. I did. Hey, Mama. Honey, you can't sit on these. You can't sit on these. How many you got? Oh, hold on here. How many do you have? How many eggs are here? There's one. There's a fake one. And there's no others. That's good. That's good. Hey, Mamas. Look. Got you a present. I got you a present. Look. Look. Got you some mealworms. Come here. Look. Look. Look, Mamas. Look. Look. Look, I brought you a present. Here. Alright, fine. Oh my goodness, that hurts my knee. Yikes, girls. You don't make this easy. Well, it's plenty warm enough down here for you. It is. I'll give you some mealworms here. Just to help supplement a little bit. A little bit of a mix here for you. Yummy yummies. Alright, we got enough food. Yep. Got enough food. Alright. Well, it looks like we've had some moose. Had a few moose here. Oh. These are Rebecca tracks. Those are moose tracks. And those are moose tracks. Those are baby moose tracks right there.
Every once in a while, you got to change the oil in your vacuum sealer, or it gets a little low and you got to add some, but figured it's about time. Noticed as I was taking it apart, this is a 2011, so we've had this machine 14 years. That's a lot of vacuum sealing. Let's tip it on its back here and see if I can drain a little more out. A lot of fish, a lot of chicken, a lot of pork. All right, we'll put the drain plug back in and fill it back up. Special oil they use for these vacuum pumps. And we just happen to have some here, but I think I'm going to put some gloves on because
Do you need a little funnel?
Probably, but I'll make a mess first, and then I'll get a funnel. Do you have a little funnel?
I do.
You do, really? That tiny? Okay. Then we'll use it. She only uses that when she's changing the oil. We'll see what happens there. See if it goes in where it's supposed to go, or if it just leaks all over the machine. Yep.
Yep.
Just like I thought. Hold that.
This funnel not small enough?
Funnel's not small enough.
No, not small
Saving that for after the mess?
Yeah.
All right, you put that in the little hole there. There we go. Okay, now I can't see though. There we go. Yeah, that works really good. So if you look in the little window there, you can see it's got a minimum and a maximum. That's pretty good.
You just keep that funnel with the machine.
Yes, I think that sounds like a good idea. I'm not sure. That might be enough oil to do another oil change.
Second.
Yeah, 14 years we've had this thing.
It's done us well.
It has. See, if you wear gloves, then it keeps the oil off your hands, and it allows you to spread the oil evenly across all of your tools. I thought that I was ready to maybe go for a little mini hike, and I've changed my mind. I'm not ready to do that. There's a little bit of a hill. Normally this will be nothing, but I don't know that I want to come walking back up that yet. So still got a bit of a, yeah, still got a little discomfort. No, still got a lot of discomfort going on. I found a place to walk out on the beach that didn't have a hill. So we're going to go for a lazy man walk on the beach. Exploring Homer a little bit today while Rebecca's working. Like people drive out here on the beach. You know, I've done a lot of four-wheeling in my 4Runner, but I've not done a lot in the 8,000-pound excursion. And even though it has big tires, flotation is the thing in sand. Weight's a bad thing, flotation's a good thing. Big tires are good, but unless I air them down, they wouldn't be good. I watch enough Matt's Off-Road Recovery to know that. So I just prefer not to drive out in the saltwater beach if I don't need to. A little cool this morning. Little breeze blowing at my back. The uneven footing, you know, makes me rock back and forth, and it's not feeling real good. So I'm not going to be doing any adventurous beach combing. I'll be doing some flat surface walking, maybe. Maybe some flat chair sitting. Picking up something, picking up agates maybe. It's here. The kelp attaches to the rocks. Never seen that before. Very interesting. This is the Homer spit. Every year, storms come in and wash the soil out from under the buildings, wash away the road. That's why there's all these rocks along the side here. They have to rebuild this spit every year. We're gonna take a little stroll down here, see what the ocean's looking like. I don't know much about these kelp beds. I know I've seen them in Monterey, but I don't know where kelp beds are. Are they all over the place? Or is there limited areas where the kelp beds are like that, where the sea otters are eating the clams? Look at, here's little sea otter tracks. Little tiny ones. And here's a kind of an interesting kelp, I guess. It's just an unusual, never seen that one before. Maybe it's some kind of a grass. Almost a little stone path. Not supposed to be snowing today, but it is, just a little bit. To take our time going back. Get back in the truck, see what else we can find. Once again, thank you for watching. We know that you have choices, and we're honored that you choose to spend your time with us.